Whenever you set out for yourself that, yo, I want to chase after this goal, I want to pursue after this dream, I want to follow my ambition, I want to follow what my heart or my conscience is really calling me out to do, or telling me inside my heart of heart that, yo, bro, this is what you need to go and do, this is the path that you need to walk on, this is where you need to go, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of things that people don't tell you about the reality of that. I've been in Miami now for a couple months, I would say maybe like 7 months and change. And nobody tells you about how lonely it gets when you're chasing your goals. Nobody tells you about how quiet things get when you're chasing your goals. I came out here to better my life. I came out here for more. I came out here for opportunities. I came out here to be around the dogs that do things at the highest level out here, you know. And since coming here, everything has been kind of like a roller coaster. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. You guys can see the vlogs and see where we've come from. Everything has been a roller coaster. And one of the biggest things I'm understanding more now is the loneliness that comes with it. Making peace with the fact that you're going to be lonely most of the time. Because everybody has their own shit. Everybody has their own things that they're doing. Everybody has their own things that they're after. And if you here solely based and solely focused on achieving a goal, achieving a specific vision, you're going to be lonely most of the time, especially when you're doing it by yourself, especially when you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have a wife, you don't have guys, because the reality of it is, I moved from Texas out here to Miami. I drove 18 plus hours to get out here. I didn't know nobody. I don't have friends that I can say, oh, this is my guy. Maybe one guy, but he stays 40 minutes away from me. He stays in all the way in Fort Lauderdale, and that's about 40 minutes away from Miami. So I hardly ever see him except he's in Miami. So having to juggle things by yourself, having to make a way for yourself by yourself is one of the things that I underestimated. Because you think you come here, everyone is rooting for you to win, everyone is moving at a very fast, high pace. You think, oh, someone is going to put you on, someone is going to give you this, someone is going to do. No, none of that shit works. None of that shit is true, because you don't have enough results to be able to put yourself in the situation or put yourself in the box where the guys that are winning or guys that are doing at the highest level can bring you in. I'm kind of in like the lonely stage of my life or lonely phase of my life right now, where I still have people that I grew up with, friends, whatever the case may be, everybody on their own vision. But you're like, no, I'm going to take the path less traveled. I'm going to go try to make something out for myself. And you're in that stage of the middle right now, trying to make something for yourself. But the people here that already made something for themselves, that do things at a very high level out here, they're not going to put you on because you don't have the qualifications, you haven't met the standard, you haven't done anything tangible for them to be like, oh, that guy is making moves, let's bring him on. That guy is doing this, let's bring him on. That guy is doing that, let's bring him on. No. So right here in this middle stage of loneliness, right here in this middle stage of building, it's a very lonely journey, guys. It's a very lonely journey, and that's something that you have to make peace with. When I initially came, I had like a lot of people, like platonic people that I would talk to in the gym, whatever the case may be, and just kind of chop things up. But as things started to get serious, as you started to dial in more, you just realize that, yo, bro, this shit is lonely. It's a lonely path. Pushing yourself to a different level, going out of your comfort zone and trying to achieve something at the highest level is going to be lonely. Especially when you don't have people that believe in the vision, especially when you don't have people that around you are supporting what you're trying to do just yet, because you haven't had enough results, or you don't have enough proof of where you're going. It's a lonely journey, guys. Nobody talks about this when you're trying to build yourself. Even when it comes to fitness, even when it comes to business, even when it comes to anything that you are really on, there's a phase, a lonely journey phase, that people underestimate, and people think that, oh, okay, it's not going to be that bad. No, it is bad. It is bad, brother. You know what I mean? Especially when you know that, yo, bro, if you had 2 of your mans here with you, or 3 of your mans here with you, and you guys are locked in on a similar goal, locked in on a similar mission, it's much faster, it's much better to be able to put heads together and be like, okay, fuck, let's go. We locked in. But when it's just you, there are moments when the motivation is high, the discipline is high. There are moments where the discipline is low, the motivation is low. You don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel like getting out of bed. You don't feel like going to the gym. You You don't feel like eating all the stuff. The things that you're expecting to work is not working as you planned. Like, a lot of things happen when you're on a mission, you know. And as I told you guys, if you've been watching my videos, I told you I was coming here for a mission. I'm here on mission. I'm on a mission trip, literally, you know, to make something happen and to be of service to humanity, to be of service to people around me. And if you're looking at it thinking that the people that you're trying to help are the ones that are going to reward you, you're very mistaken. Because the reward that you should be expecting only should come from God. You know what I mean? God is the rewarder of men. You can be slaving, you can be sacrificing, you can be doing this, you can be doing that, but if God doesn't favor you, if God doesn't open that door, if God doesn't touch that person's heart, if God doesn't make a way for you, literally you have no way. You know, ever since I've been out here in Miami, guys, everything has been God. Everything has been God. There are times where I've not had anything to eat. There are times where I was like, oh, what am I going to do in this? What am I going to do that? How am I going to survive this? How am I going to make it out of this? And God just comes through. He just comes through. He just sends that person. He just sends that text. He just, whatever the case may be, something always happens. You know, when you're on mission and when you're solely on the purpose of serving people at the highest level and not even wanting anything from it. I just wanted to see people better, wanted to see people be in shape, wanted to see people better their lives. You know what I mean? So if you have a goal that you are after, if you have a goal that you're chasing, if you have a goal that your heart is longing for on a day-to-day basis, you have to be okay with the fact that you're going to be lonely most of the time, because people are not going to understand you. You know, people are not going to see the vision just yet. It's not as clear as it is to you. And you have to be willing to make a lot of sacrifices. That's one of the biggest things that I've been doing here, guys. Sacrifice, man. Sacrifice at the highest level, bro. When you're trying to achieve a goal, when you're trying to chase after something, it has to be peak. You know, sacrificing your comfort, sacrificing your sleep, sacrificing your well-being, sacrificing your health, like sacrificing your friends, your family, just because you know that, yo, this is where I have to go to, and anything that is not aligned with where I'm trying to go has to temporarily stay behind. Because people think that they have balance, or they can balance something. Quite all right at a very high level, when you've achieved, when you've had some stuff to your name, yeah, you can balance. You can be able to say, okay, I have someone handling this, I have someone doing that. But if you're in your beginning stage and you know that, yo, I want to be able to do this, having that belief and knowing that, yo, I have to be able to get this, this is what my heart of heart is calling me to do, brother, man, there's no balance. There's no balance at all. You know what I mean? Because all your heart, all your mind, everything you think about, everything you literally do revolves around that same one singular goal, which is what you have sought out or what you're going after. And if you think you're going to be able to balance that and other things in your life, you're mistaken. Because all the energy, all the focus has to be on that singular goal for you to get the most out of it. You know, there's so many times I don't feel like making YouTube videos. There's so many times I don't feel like getting on camera. There's so many times I don't feel like doing half of the shit that I know that I'm supposed to be doing. But I still have to find a way to do it. I still have to find a way to lock in. Because I know that if I'm putting my energy on discharging my energy to other things that don't matter, it's removing away from the focus that I need to be focused on. You know what I mean? So coming out here, a couple months deep, still learning, still understanding, still trying to make it happen, still trying to find a way. It's been rough. You know, any man in their ideal mind would have quit long time ago and be like, yo, this shit is not for me. It's a different level out here. I don't think I'm ready for it, whatever the case may be. They would have quit a long time ago. You know, but once you have that trust in God, that belief in yourself, and you're like, yo, God is on my side. I have belief on my side. I have to figure this shit out. I have to make something happen. Even though the situations or the what life is handing to you in the moment is just like, oh man, why are you handing me this? What am I going to do with that? You know what I mean? You still have to find a way to make the best of the situations that you dealt with. You know, life hands you lemons. They say make lemonades with it. You know, life hands you this, make this with that, whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's just literally all I've been thinking about since I've been up this morning. I'm just like, damn, the lonely times, the sacrifices, all this for just believing in yourself that, yo, bro, I really want to do this, I really want to achieve this, I really want to make something out of myself, make something out of my abilities that you've been blessed with, it's rough. You know, it gets to you mentally. You know, and guys talk about, oh, my mental health, my mental health. I'm like, bro, that is one of the first things you're going to have to sacrifice, your mental health. Nobody gives a fuck about your mental health as a man. People don't understand that. I'm like, bro, you really want to achieve something at a very high level, you caring about your mental health? Fuck your mental health for now. You can worry about your mental health later. But right now, nobody cares about your mental health. You have to be locked in and do all the things that you said you want to do. I've not been as locked in as I should be. You know, I had allowed all the stuff that I've been doing, all the, just me in my head, pretty much. I usually get in my head a lot, and I'm just like, fuck, it is what it is, fuck. You know what I mean? I'm just in that state of, I can't. But then again, I still find something in me that is like, yo, bro, you've come a long way to quit now. You've come a long way to give up now. You have to see it through to the end. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep doing the work. What are you doing? You think you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. You owe it to, at the core of your heart, you owe it to you to not be a mistake. You owe it to you to not be a loser. You owe it to you to still make the sacrifices and show up. You know what I mean? And that is literally the only thing that has been keeping me going, because I'm like, damn, there's so much stuff that I want to achieve, but it just feels like it's so far away, and it just feels like it's so close. You know what I mean? You ever been in that situation where you're trying to achieve something and you're like, oh, you can see the end of the tunnel, but the end of the tunnel is still kind of far away, but you can still see it. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy, guys. I know this video is kind of all over the place, but literally all I'm trying to say in today's video is there are many times you're going to be lonely. There are many times you're going to make sacrifices. There are many times you're going to do things that you have to do, even though you don't feel like doing those things half the time. But you know that that thing that you have to do, or that thing that you must do, is pushing you closer, is getting you closer to the goals that you want to ultimately achieve. That's all that matters. You know, seed time and harvest time, like the Bible says, is always there. If it's time for you to put the seed in, to put the work in, to plant the fruits, or to plant whatever it is, to put the work, show up every day and do what you're supposed to do, when it's time to harvest, it's going to be there. Your harvest time could be 4 years. Your harvest time could be 3 years. Your harvest time could be 6 months. Your harvest time could be 5 years. Whatever the case may be. But really making peace with the fact that, yo, this shit that I've set out to do for myself is going to take all of me. And making peace with that is like the first step. You know, this shit that I'm setting out to do right now is going to have me in lonely times. It's going to have me rethinking my decisions. It's going to have me saying if I'm worth it or not, saying if I want to go back, saying if I want to do this, if I want to tap out, if I want to go back to working a regular night. Like, a lot of things will come into your mind when you're going through all that, you know. But it's very important in those moments to still be strong, to still show up, to still get after it, to still have the belief in yourself and know that, yo, I've made it this far. God has brought me this far. He's not going to leave you stranded. You know, he's not going to leave you without a witness. He's not going to leave you without a testimony. He's not going to leave you without answers. Things might be rough right now, but you just have to find a way to keep going. And then I make this video for you guys. I also make it for myself, because things are rough for your boy right now. But I know it's not the end. You know, I know that, like I said, the light is at the end of the tunnel, but the light is still far in the tunnel, you know, and still finding a way to keep going, trusting God, showing up every day, and controlling what you can control has been the biggest thing for me, you know, and just getting back into that zone, getting back into that groove of like, yo, bro, come rain, come shine, hail, sleet, snow, whether the sun is out, whether it's raining, whatever the case may be, the things that you've set out for yourself to do, that is what you have to do, you know. That is all you have to do, really, because the results that you want to have ultimately is going to come from you doing the things you're supposed to do. So when you lock in and be like, okay, I got to find a way to execute, I got to find a way to do all the things that I'm supposed to do, that's when the results, that's when the change starts coming, you know. So I'm going to end out the video saying that it's one of the biggest eye-openers I've seen since being out here is the loneliness and the sacrifice on a day-to-day basis that you have to make. Sacrifices that you can talk about, sacrifices that you know that you just had to do that, you just had to make that sacrifice, is for the greater good, you know. So understanding and making peace with those two things, the sacrifice and the loneliness, to get you the way you want to get to, it's going to be very, very important for your growth. It's going to be very, very important for wherever you're trying to get to. You know what I mean? So yes, guys, just wanted to come on here, drop that for you, let you know how things have been going, let you know how things are feeling. You know, it's not easy. It's not easy. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would have the results. Everybody would have done it by now. You know what I mean? But it's not easy. That's what makes it worth it, you know, because nobody's going to be willing to make the sacrifices. Nobody's going to be willing to go through the fire the way you are going to be able to. So if you're going to be able and willing to do that, go through all the phases, then you're going to come out successful. You know, it's just a matter of time. Literally, it's just a matter of time, and you're going to come out successful. So yeah, guys, if you made it far into this YouTube video, hopefully you got something from it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a comment. It helps the algorithm. And then I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.